different color on them toes. How about we jump back over to the hotel? We can leave at noon.
Got it all, cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all, shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you're looking good. Know you're rolling well, the front to a bad wood. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, roll with me. Know you tipsy off of 2 cups of Hennessy. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, I'm getting right with you. Come and spend the night with you. Oh, girl, got it all. Cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all. Shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all.
Yeah, girl, you smell good. Yeah, girl, you look fine. Yeah, you a little freak, even when you on FaceTime. Yeah, girl, you got it all. Yeah, girl, you got it all. Yeah, she from Brentwood, whipping on wood grain. Got a Mercedes 82, whipping in out of lanes. Baby girl, you scheming. Got a nigga fiending. To the left, to the left. Go ahead and be little Beyonce off to yourself. Going to the left, going to the left, going to the left, going to the left, yeah.
Got it all, cause your body is fine and you're blowing my mind. Got it all, shorty tryna make you mine. Got it all, from the waist side. Know you're riding well, the OT and stateside. Baby girl, you got it all. Baby girl, you got it all. From the road, foreign status with my name. It's all. These status amounts me honestly put the seat back in the seat box. Your little mama wanna suck in the spot on me. Welcome to the check-in report. I am your humble yet gracious host, trueandlivin. I am in the building. I'm not your homie. I'm the one and only macaroni. Listen. We got some topics to get to tonight. Tory Lanez speaks from inside the cage walls. Tory Lanez speaks from inside prison. Talk about his case. Talks about his appeal. And things in particular to the case that he's serving time for. And I also have to look up how much time is he doing. Is he doing 10 or 15 years? How much time is Tory Lanez doing? I forgot. I need to look that up at some point tonight. Also have to talk about 6ix9ine calling out 21 Savage. And, you know, essentially people moving the goal line for snitching. And this has been a conversation going along for a long time. People moving the goal line when it comes to snitching. So we got to talk about that. And we also have to talk about, is Atlanta falling off? Listen, Atlanta has been running hip hop for a long time. And I think that it's about time that we need a switch. It's about time that we see another city, another place take over hip hop. Is Atlanta falling off in terms of its dominance in hip hop? It's dominated hip hop for a long time, so we're going to talk about that as well. But first, we're going to talk about Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez, listen, he spoke with NBC. He did an interview, in regards to his time. He's serving time for shooting, allegedly shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. This is actually the appeal in the Court of Appeals of the State of California, Second Appellate District, Division 1. I didn't see this. Okay, so this is one of his appeals, I guess. But let's get into the interview that he did. And actually, let me look up how much time is Tory Lanez doing, because I did look that up. How much time is Tory Lanez? Tory Lanez. I do want to look that up. Tory Lanez, how much time is he doing? Tory Lanez, how much time is he serving? It's very important to know that. So he's doing 10 years. Wow. Tory Lanez is currently serving a 10-year prison sentence for his 2020 shooting of fellow rapper Meg Thee Stallion. Okay, let's get into his interview. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen how much time he's serving. Let's get into the interview he did with NBC, where he talks about his case. He talks about a lot of things in terms of everything that he's going through. Let's get into this clip right here. This is by way of what is this? ABC, right? I think ABC did this interview. Let's get into it. Oh, NBC did this interview. Let's get into it.
Exclusive interview with rapper Tory Lanez, currently serving a 10-year prison sentence after he was found guilty in the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Tonight, Lanez's lawyers say there was evidence not presented in the initial trial as they argue for his release.
Now, I gotta say, Tory Lanez, he's being persistent, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Tory Lanez should have took the stand in this case. I really do. I think he should have said, "The hell with hip hop. The hell with the scrutiny I'm going to deal with in terms of being a rapper who takes the stand." Tory Lanez, you were fighting for your life here. You should have took the stand. There was no reason why Tory Lanez shouldn't have took the stand. You were fighting for your life. You were fighting possible deportation. You was fighting for doing a 10-year bid. There's no reason why he shouldn't have took the stand, but he decided not to take the stand, and I think he's paying dearly for it. I do believe that Tory Lanez possibly did not shoot Meg Thee Stallion. But at the end of the day, Meg Thee Stallion is the victim. She pointed and said that it was Tory Lanez, not Kelsey, who shot her in the foot. And he's the one serving time for it. So it is what it is. You can't tell the victim. If the victim said that you're the one who did it, you're the one who did it. There were no other witnesses. No one else said that it was someone else. I do believe that it possibly may have been Kelsey, or possibly could have been a firearm that had dropped on the floor and maybe some shrapnel hit Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. These are all variables that could have happened, but let's get into the interview.
Here's NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas.
Tonight, rapper Tory Lanez breaking his silence in his first ever broadcast interview from behind bars since being found guilty of shooting Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot outside a party in 2020.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts.
Wow, he's been in jail for 3 years? Man, time is flying. He's been in jail for 3 years? And you got to think, all in that 3-year span, he's dealt with getting his appeal denied. He's dealt with being stabbed in jail. He put out at least 2 or 3 projects. I mean, he's been in there for a long time.
Including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. And I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women, and it's just so unlike me.
That's very interesting. I do feel like that was the campaign, because Meg Thee Stallion did go on a whole protect Black women campaign. See if I can pull that up. Meg Thee Stallion, protect black women. She went on a whole campaign of essentially saying, you know, that she was a black woman that was violated and she was not protected. Yeah, protect black women. Meg Thee Stallion delivers a protect the black woman statement. Now this is all after her whole. This is all after the whole, you know, debacle of her getting allegedly shot in the foot. So Tory Lanez was made to look at like this demonic black man who, you know, victimized this woman. So, you know, I guess he's taking issue with, you know, and a lot of people don't like to call it out. You know, a lot of this is Rock Nation. A lot of this is Rock Nation, you know, with the semantics, with the campaigning of, you know, protect black women and all this stuff like that. You know, Meg Thee Stallion in her career, she was never a proponent of that. If you look at her catalog, if you look at her music, I'm talking predating this court trial, if predating the shooting. Her catalog consists of her talking about slurping up men's genitalia. Her catalog consisted of her, you know, objectifying her body. Her catalog consisted of her talking about she got the wet coochie, or, you know, hot girl summer, you know, you just reckless sex acts. That's what that's what her, you know, message was in her music. But after this whole debacle with her, you know, in the shooting in Tory Lanez, she started, you know, doing all this protect black woman stuff. Rock Nation, who was managing her at the time, respectfully, decided to say, you know what, we're going to use this. We're going to use this opportunity to promote. We're going to use this opportunity to bring your career to another stratosphere. We're going to use this opportunity to do everything we can to take this moment and turn it into, you know, something lucrative for you, in my opinion. And I think that Tory takes issue with I think Tory takes issue with I guess how that happened, and that how they're making him the poster child for, you know, a demonic black man that victimized the black woman. He's taking issue with that, and he's pleading his innocence. Let's continue though.
And I've never really had a chance to express that, but you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one.
Now, let me see. Does Tory Lanez have a criminal record? He's saying he doesn't have a criminal record. Now, Tory Lanez, we got to be fair, Tory Lanez. You put hands on a couple of rappers, and you've got into some issues. I mean, you may not have a criminal record, but I mean, let's be real. Tory Lanez, didn't you smash out August Alsina? August Alsina. I mean, you've been known to have a temper. August Alsina. Fight. You've been known to have a temper, Tory Lanez. You've been known to have a temper. Yeah, and the Travis Scott. Remember the Travis Scott thing? I mean, Tory Lanez has been known to have a temper. So, you know, it's not totally unbelievable that you didn't, you know, have an anger or a problem, or you wasn't angry that night. I mean, let's not forget you and Travis Scott. I remember this.
I tweeted, I said, yo, my nigga, you a legend for making your song. At the end of the day, nigga said I sound like something, my nigga. I said what I said. If you felt the way and you want to handle it the way you want to handle it, that's why we here right now. So I'm saying, what do you want to do, bro? Do you want to do? No. Are we apologizing, or are you want to shoot the fade, my niggas?
Are we apologizing, or are you shooting the fade now? Let's be real, Tory. You had an anger problem. You definitely had an anger problem. That doesn't mean that you put hands on women, but you do have an anger problem. Let's just be real. August Alsina. I remember you put hands on August Alsina. Like I remember that. You put hands on August Alsina. Essentially, August Alsina, you put hands on him. You press Travis Scott. So let's be honest, Travis. I mean, excuse me, Tory. You know, do I think that you are a domestic batterer? You know, possibly not. But to say that you don't have to say that you don't have like an anger problem, to say that you don't have issues or anything like that, I think that would be false. You know, I'm not gonna say that you beat women, but you definitely have an anger problem, and it's not totally unbelievable for people to believe that you probably overreacted in that moment. You probably overreacted when you had that, you know, when you were in the car with Meg Thee Stallion. I'm just being honest. Hold on. Criminal record. Yeah, outside of that, Tory Lanez has a significant criminal record centered on the 2020 shooting of Meg Thee Stallion, for which he was convicted in 2022 on 3 felony assaults. I mean, yeah, but what else though? What else? I'm looking at his other criminal records. Yeah, I mean, all I'm seeing is him with that. I mean, in terms of Tory Lanez, I don't know. I don't see anything else that he's done. Um, yeah, you know, I haven't seen anything else that he's done. I think it's just that shooting that he's really just faced. But let's get back to the interview.
I never had one, and I feel like, you know, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is just it's completely incorrect and it's wrong.
Lanez declined to testify during his 2022 trial.
Now, see, that's what I think put the nail in his coffin. The fact that he did not testify. I don't know what exactly it was, why he decided not to testify. I don't know what it was. Salute the FBI. I see FBI is in the building. I don't know what it was, though. I don't know why he decided not to testify. I don't understand why he felt that it wasn't indicative or he had to do it. Salute the FBA. He says, now he's speaking like a Valley girl. Yeah. He does sound like he put on his white corporate voice. You know, every black person has that. They speak like, you know, they speak black, and then they have that other voice, you know, when they're on a job interview. He does sound like he put on that Valley girl voice, or that uppity, you know, that quarter zipping matcha voice. It does sound like he did switch his voice for this interview. He says at least he got his hairline back while locked up, and he says same August that had the entanglement. Yes, same August Alsina. Tory Lanez has been known. He's been known to put hands on people. You know, so you know, to act like Tory Lanez is innocent and he's just this, you know, innocent guy who would never hurt a fly. I don't think that's necessarily true. You know, I'm not gonna put him being a domestic batterer on his jacket. I'm not gonna put that on his jacket because I've never seen him hit a woman. I've never seen stories of him hitting women. But I mean, to say that he doesn't have an attitude, to say that he doesn't have an anger problem, to say that he would never hurt anybody, that's not necessarily true. Travis Scott didn't want no smoke with you. You put hands and feet on August Alsina. So, you know, you definitely have problems. You definitely have an anger problem. Let's get back into it. But I would say that, I do want to say that the fact that he decided not to take the stand in this case, that was the nail in the coffin for him, in my opinion. Because I think that he should have just stood up in court and said that he did not do this. This was not me. He should have said it was Kelsey. He should have said the gun fell and it hit Meg Thee Stallion's foot. I had no, I never pulled the trigger on her. He should have fought for himself. And don't forget the phone call. Let's play that phone call real quick. Let's play that phone call. The phone call was another nail in the coffin. Let's play that phone call for him. That phone call was another nail in the coffin for him. They should have did everything that they could have to make sure that phone call didn't get out. That phone call was a nail in the coffin. Here we go. This was a nail in the coffin too. Play from the top.
This is a free call from
Tory?
an inmate at LAPD jail. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
This phone call, in my opinion, some people have said, this phone call doesn't give a full view. Some people have said that this phone call, no, it's not what you think, and no, he's not apologizing for shooting her. He's apologizing for sleeping with both of them. I think that that's cap. And I mean, Tory Lanez, listen, Tory Lanez should have been a little bit more smarter. If he did shoot Meg Thee Stallion, right? I think he should have been a little bit more smarter. Why are you on a jail phone call? You know all jail phone calls are being recorded. Why are you on a damn jail phone call apologizing for what you did? You know that they're going to play this in court. They record all of these phone calls. It would be different if you told the police officer, hey, can I call somebody on my cell phone? That would have been different. You called them on a jail phone call thinking that, this wouldn't be, returned to. And he's apologizing. You don't hear Kelsey apologizing. Kelsey did not apologize. Kelsey didn't say, yo, I'm sorry, or yada, yada, yada. It's him pleading that he's sorry. What are you sorry for, Tory? This all played a factor in the court. Now let's play it.
Press 1 to accept the call. To deny this call, thank you for using Telmate.
Let's go back. Let's return to it.
Hello?
Hey.
Y'all got out safe and everything?
Y'all got out safe and everything? He sound like he's worried. He don't sound like somebody, in my opinion, and I'm looking at this as a juror. I'm looking at this as somebody who's listened to the whole case. I've heard Tory's case. I've heard Meg Thee Stallion testify. I've heard Kelsey's account for what happened that night. I'm looking at this as a juror, and the prosecutor presents this recording. It didn't look good.
Huh?
Y'all got out and everything, y'all good?
Megan's still in the hospital. I'm outside the hospital.
What hospital y'all at?
About what?
You said what?
I said Megan's in the hospital still. I'm outside the hospital waiting.
What hospital are you at?
I don't know. Let me see. Cedar, something like that. Cedar.
Yo, bro.
Sure.
Regardless, I know she probably never ever gonna talk to me ever again.
Now, why wouldn't Meg Thee Stallion ever want to talk to you again? Why wouldn't Meg Thee Stallion ever want to talk to you again? Inquiring minds want to know. This did not look good. You're not going to tell me that this was based off of you sleeping with both of them and they got into an argument and they fought. At the end of the day, even if that was so, let's say if that was so, at the end of the day, ain't none of y'all together. Ain't like none of y'all was boyfriend and girlfriend. Y'all was just smashing. And I understand that women and their emotions, and they probably didn't want to be smashing the same guy and yada, yada, yada. And maybe it was some type of pact between them and they didn't know what was going on. Or yeah, and I think all of that could be in fair play. And they could have been mad at one another for what had happened between them in terms of that. Why the hell are you apologizing? Why the hell are you saying, oh, I know she's never going to want to talk to me again and yada, yada, yada. Like, come on, Tory. You should have known that this was going to be revisited.
But, bruh, I just want you to know, bruh. Nigga, I was just so fucking drunk, nigga. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro.
I was just so drunk, I didn't know what was going on. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If I was a jury, if I was in that jury, and I heard that part right there, that, yo, I'm sorry. I know Meg is never going to want to talk to me again. I was just so drunk and I didn't even know what was going on. To me, that sounds That sounds like you're snitching on yourself.
Fire! 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 Fire!
That sounds like you're snitching on yourself. That sounds like you're telling me. That's like you're telling me that you did it. You're telling me that you did it. Yo, I was drunk. I was high off the Molly. I was wilding out. I was pop the milk, pop the Molly. I'm sweating. Pop the Molly. I'm sweating. Whew. You had an outer body experience. You done popped a few Mollies. You done drunk all the alcohol. You grabbed the firearm and you started busting off at the Meg Thee Stallion's feet. To a jury listening to this, that would have cooked you. You don't sound like, on this recording, in my opinion, you don't sound like somebody who just smashed two friends and they got into a fight and you had nothing to do with it. That you was just, smashing both of them. And it's just, you sound like somebody who did something very badly. You did something very wrong. Somebody ended up in the hospital and you are apologetic for what had happened. I don't hear somebody on this phone that is innocent. I don't hear Kelsey apologizing. I hear you apologizing. And ultimately, this audio cooked him. When they play this, because it sounds like you're just saying that you're sorry for what you did. But you tried to back out of it. Now, I'm just keeping it real. Let me just play a little bit more of this.
I didn't even know what the fuck was going on, bro. Like that ass nigga. I'd never do some shit like that, bro.
He said, I would never do some ish like that. I didn't know what was going on. I would never do some ish like that. That's what he said. These are words from his mouth. You don't hear Kelsey saying, yo, I'm sorry for me and Meg fighting. Because everybody goes with this theory of Kelsey and Meg, they was fighting and they was wilding out and there was a struggle for the gun and the gun came. That's what everybody said. I wish my cousin was in here. He loves saying that theory. That there was a struggle in the car and the gun went off and yada, yada, yada. And Tory tried to break it up. That's not what he's saying in this clip here. Essentially, he's saying that, it was a mistake and he was drunk. He didn't know what was going on and he would never do no ish like that. He's pretty much saying that he was drunk and out of his mind. That he's apologetic for the events that had happened that night. This doesn't sound like an innocent man to me.
Fire! 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 Fire!
This doesn't sound like an innocent man.
Just the nigga so fucking drunk, nigga. I just didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, regardless, that's not gonna make anything right. And that's not gonna make my actions right, bro.
That's not gonna make my actions right. This damn near sounds like he's, confessing to the crime. This damn near sounds like he's confessing to the crime. Tell me that this doesn't sound like he's confessing to the crime.
Be sorry, bro. I never even moved like that, bro. Like, never moved like that at all, bro. Like, for real, dog.
Kelsey ain't saying nothing. Kelsey ain't saying, yo, I'm sorry for my part. Yo, I'm sorry for fighting Meg. I'm sorry for putting hands and feet on Meg. I'm sorry that we slept together and this had happened and I wish it would have never happened like that. I don't hear Kelsey saying none of that.
There's a lot that happened, but
A whole lot.
I bet it was.
A whole lot, bro. I feel it.
I bet it was a lot that had happened. Yeah, but to me, that didn't sound like somebody who was not guilty. It sounded like somebody who was very guilty of what they had done. But let's continue.
Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rapper's legal team filed an appeal, which was denied in November. But his team is continuing to fight, with plans to file multiple appeals next week, this time with the California Supreme Court. In one claiming newly discovered evidence that they weren't provided during Lanez's 2022 trial, including hundreds of pages of medical records for Megan Thee Stallion, whose real name is Megan Pete, which they allege raise questions about the fragments removed from her foot after surgery. His team argues that the fragments were not provided ahead of trial and that this was a violation of due process.
And we didn't have that chance. Or perhaps we could have questioned the doctors differently when they were on stand to impeach them, because it does look suspicious.
But in the appeal denied in November, the court did address the fragments, ruling that the surgeon's testimony was, quote, more than sufficient to prove great bodily injury on Pete. Proving something like this on appeal is tough.
This is a really, really difficult appellate argument for defendants to prove, because they have to show if the evidence actually came into court, the jury would have found differently. It's an uphill battle, and it's something that often torpedoes any defense appellate argument.
I don't really want to hear that argument about the shrapnel caught in her foot. At the end of the day, Meg was a victim. No matter how you splice it, people say that if she got shot in the foot, there's so many bones in the foot. Why did none of the bones get hit by, the shrapnel or the bullet or whatever? I don't want to hear none of that. At the end of the day, we need to realize that Meg Thee Stallion was the victim. There was some damage, significant damage to her foot. Some people, the things that people come up trying to, let's say, the things that people say about Meg, about, her lying about being shot, I think it's a little bit insensitive. It's a little insensitive. At the end of the day, she went to the doctor. They determined what it was and what had happened. This is not her being a doctor. She went to the doctor and they told her what had happened. At the end of the day, do I think that she was shot at point blank range? No. I think that what had happened, in my opinion, what I think happened was she was shot not at, but it was near her foot, and possibly there was some shrapnel from the shot that entered her foot. That's what I think happened. I don't think it was a Tory Lanez shot her foot at point blank range and the bullet went through her foot. That's not what I think happened. I think it was a shot near her foot, shrapnel went into her foot. That's what I think happened. But some people even deny that even happened. Some people say that it was never no fragments. I disagree. But, at the end of the day, I just feel like Tory Lanez, if he felt like he was innocent, if he felt like, you know what, I had nothing to do with this, this was never my fault, I'm completely innocent, you should have took the stand. Him not taking the stand was just a bad idea. Salute to the Hustle Man. I see the Hustle Man is in the building. Salute, Hustle Man. I see you in the building, man. Salute to you. Let me put him on. Yeah, salute to him, man. He says hit that like button. Salute, bro. Salute. Good to see you in here, bro. Yeah, I think Tory Lanez not taking the stand, that's ultimately what cooked him. You should have fought for your innocence, man. You should have fought if you felt that you had caught a bad deal, if you felt that the justice system was treating you unfairly, if you thought that, whatever it is, you should have pleaded your innocence. I mean, Tory Lanez he's dealt with a lot. He's been stabbed 17 times. He's been through a pill after a pill after a pill. He's been fighting for his life in jail. Don't you think if you would have took the stand that all of this could have never happened? I mean, I wonder if he thinks about that. Maybe I should have just took the stand. I still don't understand why he didn't take the stand. I don't know if it was based off of him didn't want to have that stereotype of a rapper snitching. But, I mean, in my opinion, you wouldn't have been snitching. You would have been pleading your case. I mean, maybe they would have said you snitched because you pointed Kelsey as the shooter. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, would you rather go to jail for 10 years or would you rather her go to jail for 10 years? And listen, Kelsey didn't snitch on you. She didn't tell on you. She didn't say it was you. But I mean, they're indirectly pointing at you, and the prosecutor put them on stand. And the initial statement was that you had did it. Kelsey had initially said that you had did it. So I mean, what was the point of you not going on there and saying that it was all Kelsey? I mean, Tory Lanez, he's been through a lot.
The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office and representatives for Megan Thee Stallion have not responded to NBC News' request for comment.
I believe not only that I was wrongfully convicted, but the amount of new evidence that has emerged since that trial, I think, has been overwhelming.
Yeah, FBA ain't shit. FBA said he got his Valley Girl voice on. I do hear the change in his voice. It's definitely a little more submissive. Definitely not too masculine. Definitely wants to sound more of a suburban. It's not very urban. His voice is not very urban in this interview.
What has life been like in prison for the last couple of years?
Truthfully, I've done my best to keep my head above water, but mentally, I've gone through trauma that I sometimes even struggle with because I never imagined myself dealing with things that I would have to deal with. I've been stabbed 17 times. Almost lost my life.
If you could say something to Megan Thee Stallion today, what would it be?
That's a good question. It's a good question.
I think that I wouldn't say something directly to her. I would like that moment to happen in person.
See, that's where he fucked up at. That's what he fucked. In my opinion, in this interview, that's where he fucked up at. You should have looked into that damn camera and you should have said, bitch, you know damn well I didn't do this to you. Bitch, you know damn good and well I ain't shoot you in your foot. You know you're a damn liar, bitch. That's what he should have said. He over here stumbling and fumbling over the question, and I would want to tell her in person and yada yada. You should have said, yo, bitch, I ain't shoot you. It wasn't me. Go and find the person who shoot you in the foot. Like, you know, to me, I just feel like at the end of the day, Tory, no matter what had happened that night, I think that you should have got on the stand. If you felt in your heart of hearts that you did not do this, you had no motive to shoot Meg Thee Stallion in the foot, that was not what had happened, and you standing on that, then I feel like there was no reason for you not to take the stand. Fire! 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 You should have took the stand. You should have took the stand, man. If you felt in your heart of hearts that you didn't shoot this woman, then why didn't you take the stand? I mean, honestly, would you rather had sit in jail for 10 years? He's sitting in jail for 10 years. He's keeping his beverages cold in the toilet. He got niggas in jail making him a jail spread with old bags of Doritos and ramen noodles. He's getting pressed by the Mexicans in there. I heard he got stabbed. Like he said, he got stabbed 17 times. I mean, that's sad. I feel sad. I feel bad. I mean, it's truly, if he didn't do this, like he's saying he's maintaining his innocence, if that's true, Tory Lanez, I feel sad that you're going through this. But when I listen to that jail phone call, it makes me, and I'm sure a lot of people feel, when you listen to that jail phone call, you can't help but think that, you know, it possibly may have been him. know a lot of people love to, they want to think that, it wasn't him and yada, yada, yada. I'm starting to lean more towards it was him, because you refuse to testify. You refuse to say that it was Kelsey. You had rather keep the code and not, at least, and think about it. Everybody in the case testified. Meg testified. Kelsey testified. Everybody testified, but you. And you're the one that's going through trial. You're the one that's facing 10 years. But you decided, no, I'm not going to take the stand. Now you're facing the music because of it. It's crazy.
We've both gone through a lot. There's this connotation that, like, I share this hatred for her, but I don't. I'm genuinely past that. I'm at a place of healing in my life. I'm at a place of taking accountability for the things that I did wrong.
What did you do wrong? What did you do wrong?
And when I talk about my case, I don't want it to be taken as me coming at her, because it's not that. I'm just asking for somebody in the system to look at my case and look at the...
Yeah, he sounds guilty to me. I'm not going to lie. Looking at this interview, he sounds guilty. He sounds guilty. He doesn't sound like somebody who's innocent, who's in jail, wrongly convicted. He sounds like a person who's guilty, who realized he made a mistake and just wants someone to, go back into his case and possibly give him a better or more lenient sentence. That's what it sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like somebody who's in jail for a crime they were wrongly convicted of. Not to me. Not to me.
The evidence and ask if this was fair.
And with that, Chloe Malas joins us now on set. So, Chloe, Tory Lanez is also seeking a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom.
Nigga, you ain't getting no pardon. That's a fact. That's a fact. You ain't getting no pardon. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you that right now, Tory. I can tell you that right now, Tory. You ain't getting no pardon. You ain't getting no pardon from Governor Newsom. That ain't happening. You ain't getting no pardon. Ain't no Democratic governor gonna give you a pardon for shooting a black woman in the foot. It's not gonna happen. Ain't no Democratic governor gonna give you a pardon for shooting a black woman in the foot. You think you deserve a Purple Heart for shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot? A goddamn Medal of Freedom for shooting a Houston chicken head, shooting a Houston chicken head in the foot? What the hell is wrong with Tory? A pardon. You ain't no political prisoner. You was a drunk, pill popping, rapping degenerate, riding around with 2 chicken heads from Houston with a hot firearm in the back seat, and it went off and somebody got injured. And that's why you in jail. You ain't no damn political prisoner. You ain't nobody worth of getting a damn pardon. Who the hell he think he is? A damn pardon. You ain't getting no damn pardon, Tory Lanez. What's wrong with him?
That's right. His legal team has filed the necessary paperwork, and it is before the governor now. So they're seeking either a pardon where his criminal record will be wiped clean, he would be released from prison, or to have his sentence commuted, meaning that the time he has served is sufficient, and release him, but that doesn't change his criminal record. As for when this could happen, the governor typically does these twice a year, so this could happen before the new year.
All right. Chloe Malas versus Chloe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, Tory. More than likely, Tory, respectfully, more than likely, and I'm not wishing this on him. I hope that, Tory Lanez at some point sees the light of day. I hope at some point he can get back to his career, get back to his life, get back to his child. But more than likely, Tory, you're probably going to spend your sentence in jail. You're probably going to come home maybe 2 or 3 years early. But more than likely, you're going to face majority of the time in jail. You know, I don't see people revisiting this case. You know, your interview, in my opinion, you don't sound like a man. Like I said, you don't sound like a man who's innocent sitting in jail. You sound like somebody who's very much guilty, but just wants someone to revisit your case. It doesn't sound like you're an innocent man in jail, in my opinion. You know, and you know, I feel sorry for your case. You know, I feel sorry about you getting stabbed 17 times. That's sad. And again, I wasn't there. I don't know who shot who. I don't know if it was you. I don't know if it was Kelsey. But at the end of the day, you should have took the stand, man. And I believe even in his heart of hearts, he feels that, you know what, I damn sure should have took the stand. I should have took the stand. You should have took the stand. I think the case goes in a different direction if he takes the stand. I'm not saying he would have beaten the case, but I think he would have had a better chance of beating the case. I don't see the jury ultimately saying, you know, guilty. I think that they possibly would have factored in his testimonial. They would have factored in his account of the story. Remember, everybody testified. Meg testified. Kelsey testified. But Tory is the one that was on trial there. You should have took your glued-on hairline and sat in that seat, got grilled by the prosecution, and told your story. But now you're gonna have to sit in jail for the foreseeable future. And listen, I wish Tory the best, man. You know, it's sad to see him in this predicament. It's sad to see him like this, but he's the one who refused to testify. Listen, if you're fighting for your life in a criminal trial, if you're fighting for your freedom, you know, you need to throw away your ego. You need to throw away your, I'm going to be deemed a snitch. I'm going to be deemed as a rat. People are going to make fun of me for testifying in my crime. You need to throw all of that out the window. This is not the rap industry. This is not the music industry. This is your life. This is 10 years away from your family, 10 years away from your kids, 10 years away from your responsibilities, your career, your aspirations, your goals, the things you want out of life. This is real deal. This is real deal. So I wish the best for Tory, but it doesn't look like, I don't see a glimmer of light. I don't see any hope in terms of him getting out anytime sooner. I don't see an appeal coming. I damn sure don't see a pardon coming. A pardon is crazy. The fact that he's even thinking that could even be an option on the table, and a pardon is kind of crazy. But I wish him best on that. Let's get to the next topic. Before I do that, let me play Tory Lanez's father with the Rock Nation. I do love that clip. Tory Lanez's father with the Rock Nation will crumble. Rock Nation will crumble. And I do think Rock Nation is behind a lot of this. I love this video with Tory Lanez's father.
You want to know exactly how I'm feeling? Yes, sir.
Tell him, Tory Lanez father. I ain't gonna lie. He was cooking on this video.
I just stood here in this Los Angeles County and witnessed the worst miscarriage of justice that this world has ever seen. Yes. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. I got some names that I want to call. Alex Spiro, Desiree Perez, and the whole wicked system of Rock Nation, including you, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You who say you rose from the gutter, but you have traded and bartered the souls of young men, and you're still doing it. The only independent witness in this courtroom is a man whose name is Sean Kelly. He came to court, and our attorneys, he would not even shake their hand after he went upstairs with Kathy Ta and Alex Bott.
They met on Saturday before. They
met with our witness. And then the man came back, and I sat in the hallway while he sat with Jody Little, the prosecutor's investigator, who acted so dumb, an intelligent woman who did not want, listen, I've seen so much evidence buried in this, and I know exactly what the public out here will say.
Tory Lanez's father was cooking on this. Let him cook. Let him cook.
You will say, I say this because I'm a father. See, I am a father of thousands around the world. I'm a father of my kids, but
he didn't father everybody. He's everybody's father. He's everybody's father. He's Tory Lanez's father. He's your father. Make sure you get this man a Father's Day card on Father's Day. Everybody's father.
Spiritual father to many, and I don't make stupid allegations because I got nothing better to do. You all have been bartering and trading the souls of young black and brown men in this country, and I'm calling on all the umbrellas. I'm calling on everybody in this country to begin to rise up because your sons have been done dirty.
That's right.
It's not over. It's not over. God does not lose.
Never.
And even though we have come to this juncture, trust me, you will see that our God does not fail.
This is not the
I
first
know
time.
that this is wickedness. This district attorney, Miss Kathy Tarr, is the same one that witnessed or knew that 5 sheriff's deputies in LA County beat up a Spanish man.
I'm trying to get to the part where he says Rock Nation will crumble. That's what I'm trying to get to that.
Refuse to sign a Rock Nation deal with you.
Yes.
And Desiree Perez, you wicked witch, you snitch.
Woo, let's go.
Fire, 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 fire,
I told you Tory Lanez's father was cooking on this. He called the Wicked Witch of the West and a snitch. He was cooking with gas on this one.
Yes, you turned on your co-conspirators, or the whole mafia, one of you, that was peddling drugs in this country, and you rolled on them before so the Fed could give you a deal. All of you, trust me, I have intercessors, prayer warriors around the world, and they will not stop until you are cut off.
Yes.
No, we don't shoot you with guns, but we know exactly how to bring you down in the spirit.
They all have children.
Enough
They all
said,
have children.
it's all
Let's
done. Let's go.
I like that.
Open way, open way, open way, guys. Open up, open up, open up, open up, open up.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. It's real. It's real. Tory Lanez pops, man. He wasn't playing with them niggas, man. Rock Nation, man. You know, Rock Nation, you know, man. Let's get to the next topic. Now, the 6ix9ine, he called out 21 Savage. You know, listen, in this era, I feel like there's been a lot of goalposts moving in terms of snitching. Every day, it seems like there's goalposts in terms of snitching. You know, people say that they're moving the goalposts when it comes to snitching, when it comes to Young Thug. There's the murmurs on the Max B case. There's murmurs on the Gunna case, and not only that, you know, there's other people like QC. There's so many people, and I feel like, you know, for me, I just think the whole snitching thing. I just think that we need to just get away from the whole snitching thing. If you're a rat, you're a rat. Who cares if you snitch? We can still say that you snitch. We can still say that you're a rat or whatever. But to me, in 2025, 2026, I don't think the whole rat title means anything anymore. What does it really mean to call someone a rat? Like, what does it mean in 2025 to call, or 2026, so we're going to 2026, what does it mean anymore to call someone a rat? I don't think it holds any weight anymore. The hoes are still gonna pull up if the rat got some bread. Some people call Gunna a rat. People love Gunna. People love that. We're gonna F tonight. We're gonna F tonight. They love that song. F you mean? People still pulling up to the concerts. If Gunna show up to a strip club right now, it's gonna be packed. If 6ix9ine sold up to a strip club, it's gonna be packed. So what does the whole rat title? It's meaningless. You know, I think the whole snitch thing, the whole rat thing and all that, you know, it meant something back in the day. It probably held weight back in the day, but in 2025, 2026, I don't think it holds any weight anymore. Nobody cares that you're a rat. It doesn't matter to corporate America. It doesn't matter to the business. Doesn't matter to the record company. Doesn't matter to the concert promoters. It doesn't mean anything anymore. But let's get into this video where 6ix9ine talks about how 21 Savage is moving the goalposts in terms of ratting. Let's play this video.
Yo, if you're watching this video, you about to hear some fucking facts. And people don't like the truth because it hurts them. I was going to do this video on TikTok, you know, where you put the picture in the background and you start choking. But these facts right here need 100-inch. You see this bitch ass sticker right here?
This nigga Aries Spears called this nigga a trickster rabbit. Says nigga like a trickster rabbit. And every time I see 6ix9ine, I can't get that out my head. But yeah, let's continue.
Yo, listen, they gonna skip this. The facts hurts people's feelings. I just need y'all to know that. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Now hear this out. This bitch ass nigga says, yo, hold on, let's start with.
How do y'all feel about 6ix9ine using the N-word still? I mean, like, I have an issue with him using the N-word still. We're going to get to what he's talking about, but, you know, I just feel like 6ix9ine, you know, listen, you're a Mexican, and I know he has some Puerto Rican blood. His father's Puerto Rican, but, you know, you a Mexican. You know, you ride hard with Mexico. And I know you're from Brooklyn, right? And listen, I'm from New York, too. I understand that Hispanic kids use the N-word. I grew up with Hispanic kids that use the N-word. But I got to tell you, man, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of non-black people using the N-word. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. When I was a young kid, when I was 16, 17, 18, I didn't care who used the N-word. If you was a white dude and you was a part of hip-hop, and you wore baggy jeans, you like to listen to hip-hop music, and you used the N-word around me, I probably wouldn't have said anything. Because I would have probably looked at the way you were dressed, probably would have looked at the way you move and the type of music you listen to, and I would have said, you know what? Even though you're white, you know, you're like a hip hopper. You're like you're down with black people. So go ahead and use it. But you know, as I get older, I just realize, like, yo, man, like, what is going on? Like, I just have an issue with it. I have an issue with it. We need to get away from people just using the N-word. I mean, if black people collectively have to just stop using it, then I think that's probably what we have to do. You know, but I'm just saying, I'm just getting tired of hearing people of other races using the N-word. I think we just need to get away from it. But that's just my opinion. It's my opinion. But let's get back to what he's saying, because he does have a point here that I think is very interesting. So I just went into a tangent though. Let's continue.
I hear this out. This bitch ass nigga says, yo, hold on, let's start with this. Gunna, Young Thug, y'all niggas fix that shit. Y'all love each other. Niggas knew Gunna wasn't no gangster when he told the first time.
First time.
And we swept it. We, not.
We. Yes, 6ix9ine. We can read.
Not them. We. As the whole Atlanta. We swept it under the rug for you. You know, he wasn't trying to leave you to hang, nigga. Fuck the streets. Now,
yes, you know, listen. Gunna did rap before. What was that? What was that? What was that thing he did before? And he did. I don't consider that ratting. Snitch interview. I don't consider this ratting. I just think that he was a young man, and he, you know, I don't consider what he did here when he was young. I don't consider this ratting.
ShopRite, we celebrate the holidays.
I think he's talking about this. I think 21 Savage is talking about this. Because Gunna did an interview, I think where he cooperated or something like that, where he said he told the police what had happened and yada yada yada. And I think he's saying, I think when 21 Savage was saying that, I think he was referring to this moment here. Oh, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I think he was referring to this. I think 21 Savage is referring to this, that he snitched here. And then, you know, then ultimately he goes down for the YSL case. He takes a plea on Young Thug. Young Thug is facing life. So he's saying that Young Thug, you allowed him to, you know, stick around, you know, knowing he was a snitch the first time. I think that's what 21 Savage was referring to. I just want to put that into context.
Fuck the streets when it's convenient for you. That album sales is not selling, nigga. The Drake stimulus pack not selling, nigga. Now y'all talking about, yo, fuck the streets. I've been talking about this 5 years ago.
Yeah, I haven't. I ain't gonna lie, 6ix9ine. I'm with 6ix9ine on that. Because 21 Savage, you can't say F the streets. 21 Savage, you who raps about death and destruction and all of this nonsense in your music, you can't be the one to say F the streets. Let me put FBA on the screen. Hold on. FBA got something to say. He says, when they say what up, my nigga, say what up, my spick. Yeah, you know, you may have to hit them with that back, you know? You may have to. But I think what 6ix9ine is saying has some validity. 21 Savage, who put out an album. He put out an album called, hold on, What Happened to the Streets? What happened to the streets? He put out an album called What Happened to the Streets. You can't be the one telling us F the streets. You're the one sitting up here, you know, promoting the streets, glorifying the streets. You made a whole album saying what happened to the streets. You're the one in all your music glorifying gangs, glorifying violence, like we know you as a street rapper. But you're telling us F the streets? Listen, man, we gotta stop moving the goalposts, bro. We gotta stop moving the goalposts. And I do think there's a lot of, like what Whack 100 says, selective politicking. That's a lot of selective politicking. In reality, it's too much selective politicking. It's overboard selective politicking. If you cooperated with the police, respectfully, you are a rat. You ratted. If you gave any type of information, you ratted. It is what it is. Gunna took a plea on Young Thug. You ratted. Young Thug, respectfully, and I love Young Thug, but you said a lot in that interview. You talked too much. I don't think you gave any information on anybody, but you did talk too much. Some people could, you know, hypothesize and say that was ratting. And there's other scenarios and there's other cases. We can't keep moving the goalposts on snitching. You know, if you like somebody, if you like a particular rapper, if you like a particular person, that's fine. But at the end of the day, if they cooperated, if they snitched, if they did this, if they did that, then they're a rat. Respectfully. You can still see that's where we need to get to in rap. We need to start disseminating and saying, you know what? Did this person rat? Did this person cooperate? Did this person do bad? Yes. But at the end of the day, I like their music. That's where we need to get to in rap. Fire! 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 We need to get to a space, in my opinion, we need to get to a space in hip hop where we can say, you know what, did this person do bad? Did they rat? Did they cooperate? Yes. But I ultimately like their music. I enjoy their music. And it doesn't matter to me that they ratted. I'm gonna tell you right now. If people, I don't call Young Thug a rat. I don't think he ratted, right? I don't think he ratted in my book. But if people feel like he ratted, I don't care. I'm a fan of Young Thug. Same with Max B. If people say that Max B ratted, that's fine. I don't care. I like his music. I don't care. That's where we need to get to in hip hop, in my opinion. At a certain point, we need to just say, listen, if you think somebody cooperated or if they cooperated, then that's fine. Did they ratted? I don't think that somebody ratting should be indicative of you liking their music. I think that that should be totally separate. I mean, are we in the streets or are we in the entertainment industry? Don't conflate the two, because the two are very different. It doesn't matter what any of your favorite rappers says. The two are very different. Jay-Z does not go into a corporate meeting with the same swagger that he went into selling crack in Marcy Projects. He's a little bit more soft-spoken, a little bit more, he put on that white voice, a little bit more submissive to the white dominant society. Don't be fooled by these rappers thinking that, like it means something. Are you in the entertainment industry or are you in the streets? This is the music business. This is not the streets. So ultimately, like I said, I think we need to get to a point where we just disseminate the two. The two are very different. The two are not the same. I don't care if you ride it, me personally. I don't give a damn. I don't think it holds any weight.
So y'all bend and break the rules when it's convenient for y'all. When he told the first time, so you know, homie, a rap. But it's convenient for me. Yo, my best friend could rap. You from Atlanta? He could rap. But y'all niggas can't. Yo, no, it's different. Bro, it's different. I've been saying this for 5 years. When he told the first time, we swept it under the rug. Where the morals? Ain't you a street nigga? Where your principle? Where your honor? You know whom you rap, but you swept it under the rug? It get worse. QCP, I told you to your face, you did wrong at the party, but I never backed you on the internet. Why? Because it would have made the city look bad. Because you was putting all the young niggas on. And that would have fucked up the money. So you ready to eat from a rat? What happened?
Listen, like I said, it's always been selective politicking. It's a lot of selective politicking. It's a lot of selective politicking. Nobody calls it out. And at the end of the day, like, we need to do away with all of this snitching and all of this. We need to do away with it. It doesn't serve anybody. Who cares if somebody ratted? That should not be indicative of you liking their music or not. FBA says that Valley Girl voice. He wasn't liking the Tory Lanez voice, I guess. Yeah, but I think that snitching should not be indicative of you liking somebody's music or not. I just feel like, who cares if somebody snitches? It's not good business. Who cares? We need to get to a point in hip hop where it doesn't matter. If you found out that Kendrick Lamar was a snitch or Drake was a snitch, are you gonna stop listening to their music? How about Future? Pick whoever your favorite rapper is. If you found out today that they were a snitch, would you stop listening to their music? For me, I could tell you right now, no. that would not have any credence on if I like their music or not. I would just say, you know what, they ratted, they did bad, but at the end of the day, I still love this song. I still enjoy listening to their music. 6ix9ine is just pointing out the hypocrisy. He's just pointing out the double standard and the selective politicking, because they have went hard on him. You see in every interview 21 Savage calling 6ix9ine rat boy, or saying disrespectful things, and they calling him a rat and this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, it's like, bro, 21 Savage, you got a bunch of rats. You knew about the Gunna situation. You allowed that to you allowed that to keep happening. You wasn't calling out nobody. You, like you said, like 6ix9ine is saying, y'all swept that underneath the rug. QC, y'all swept that underneath the rug. So 6ix9ine is just pointing it out. He's pointing it out.
To all good money, all money not good money. Y'all was just bashing Kodak.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to all good money, not all money, not good money? Y'all niggas bend and break the rules when it's convenient for y'all, nigga. I walk shit down.
Listen, man, I kind of agree with him. I kind of agree with him, man. I think there's a double standard when it comes to ratting. People have selective politicking when it comes to ratting. Certain people, it's cool. We're going to sweep it underneath the rug. It's not a big deal. Other people, we're going to scrutinize. Now, don't get me wrong. 6ix9ine, at the end of the day, he took the stand. 6ix9ine, at the end of the day, you did bad. Let's put you on a Summer Jam screen, 6ix9ine. You did bad, 6ix9ine. You did bad, 6ix9ine. You took the stand on your mans. You took the stand on Shotty. You took the stand on Mel. You took the stand on niggas. So it is a difference. Some of these niggas ain't take the stand. Some of these niggas just took a plea because they ain't want to fight. They ain't want to, go to trial. Some of these niggas just was in the interrogation room. They probably said too much, gave too many information. They probably didn't know better, or they probably just got tricked. 6ix9ine, you're a totally different case. You know full and well what you were doing. You know full and well what you were going to do was going to send people to jail directly. So your case is a little bit different now. Not entirely the same. It's not entirely the same. You don't have entirely the same situation as some of these rappers, but I do agree with what you're saying. I kind of do agree with what you're saying. But let me know what y'all guys think in terms of that situation. Is there a double standard? Is there selective politicking when it comes to snitching in hip hop? I think that it's clear that it is. It's clear that it's happening. It's clear that it's going too crazy. Let's play. Let's get into this real quick. 21 Savage, right? It's something I've been wanting to talk about. 21 Savage projections. 21 Savage projections. I wanted to get into this. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's put this up on the screen. 21 Savage is projected to sell 53K first week, right? Now, yes, a couple days ago, I talked about how Nas' album is better. It's I think Nas' album, I think it did like 5K first week. That's with no promotion, no rollout, none of the above, without the big record company behind it pushing it. But 21 Savage is doing a meager 53K first week. And I have to ask the question, and I have to ask, people here, are we seeing the fall of Rome? And when I talk about the fall of Rome, I'm talking about the dominance of Atlanta in hip hop. Listen, Atlanta has been running hip hop for a long time. Are we possibly seeing the fall of Atlanta? Little Baby's last project. Let's go into it. Little Baby, The Leak. He did a leak project. Sells. How much did that sell? Little Baby The Leak opens with 34K first week. Another big hip hop artist only sells 34K. Young Thug, hold on. Young Thug album sells. Yeah, YT Scuddy. It sold 52 first week. Listen, a lot of the big artists out of Atlanta are not really putting up big numbers like they used to. And of course, that there's a lot of infighting. You saw 21 Savage calling out Young Thug, Future. And they did patch things up. They did patch things up. He called out Offset and all these other different rappers. The unity in Atlanta is not what it used to be. Of course, they're patching things up. They're trying to get things right. But it's not as unified as it once was. And I'm saying this. Is it time for another city, another place to take over hip hop like Atlanta had it? 'Cause listen, Atlanta had it for a long time. Atlanta has had hip hop for a long time. They probably had the longest run. Outside of New York, Atlanta has probably had the longest run. I mean, let's really think about it. New York, I would say New York had hip hop from its beginning stages, of course. So we can go, let's go 79. Let's go 79. So I'm gonna go from 79 to about 91, right? So from 79 to 91, actually I'm gonna say 90, because NWA had came out and gangsta hip hop started, around early 90s. So I'm gonna say from 79 to about 90, hip hop was ran by New York, right? We'll give you the timeline. So 79 to about 90, hip hop was ran by New York. And then at a certain point, the West Coast came in. The West Coast started dominating. Death Row, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. Let me see what people are saying in the air. I get back to what I'm saying. Paula says, I thought he was stabbed 14 times. You're talking about Tory Lanez. He's claiming he was stabbed 17 times. I can look that up for you. But I think it's about 17 times. Rappers just not selling unless you have a bigger fan base. See, I think that's a part of the problem, Paula. I think that a lot of rappers today, we need new energy in hip hop. Like we haven't seen a new star in hip hop in a long time. I think that's why we're not selling, and that's not why we're not seeing a lot of, we're still depending on the Kendricks and the Drakes to be the stars. We need new stars. At a certain point, hip hop needs to refresh new stars, because think about it. In the early 2000s, when Jay and Snoop and Nas and all those legends from the 90s, a new crop of MCs needed to come in. You needed to have the 50 Cents. You needed to have Lil Wayne finally become a superstar. You needed to have a Kanye West. When their era went through, right? When their era and when their time was up, then you had the 2010s. You needed a Drake to come through. You needed a Kendrick Lamar. You needed a J. Cole. Every era had a point where, listen, you've had your time in the shine. It's time for the next era. we're stagnant right now. We don't know. We don't have that next Drake. We don't have that next 50 Cent. We don't have that next superstar in rap. I feel like right now we're in a bad stage in hip hop. In my opinion, right? In my opinion. And I'm not even gonna pay attention to little FOP. I'm not even gonna put your comment on there. You're just a clown. I don't care. I'm gonna keep yapping too. Salute to you, bro. I'm gonna keep yapping. But in terms of what I'm saying, in terms of Atlanta hip hop, like I said, I'm going to say 79 to 90. Hip hop was ran by New York. Early 90s, you started to see the West Coast start to take over. It was the Chronic, it was Doggy Style, it was the Dog Pound. Hip hop was West Coast out. Tupac. Hip hop was West Coast out in the from 92, 93, 94, 95, right? That's when you started seeing New York to start fighting back. Then you have the Biggies, you have the Nas's, you have the Mobb Deeps. And the late 90s is when things started to, everywhere started to get, a little bit of shine. You started seeing more shine down south, started seeing more shine on the West Coast, on every place, right? But I feel like every place had a time to shine in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? Because Dipset, G-Unit, Jay-Z, all that was popping in the early 2000s, late 90s. And then you still had the South still making noise and the West Coast making noise, right? When it got to a point, I'm going to say around the mid 2000s, maybe like 2004, when Usher came with the Confessions album, when Little John came with Crunk. Around the mid 2000s, snap music, crunk music, all of these different genres of trap music, so many different genres coming out of Atlanta. You started to see Atlanta go on a historic run from the mid 2000s up until 2025, up until today, really. Let's be real. Let's be real. Atlanta has been running hip hop since the mid 2000s. If you really think about it, they've had the crown for a very long time. I'm talking about in terms of the sound, the dominance, the numbers, the amount of rappers on, popping, doing the damn thing. They've had the crown for a very long time. I think we're at a point where we need to see a new city take over the crown, take over the reins. Whether it be a New York, whether it be a West Coast, whether it be another southern place, it's time for us to go to another place and it's time. Yeah, I know he said keep yapping, but I didn't like the way he said it. I know he said keep yapping, but I felt like he was being very facetious by telling me to keep yapping. But yeah, but like I said, I feel like Atlanta has had the crown for a long time. And it's time to see that mantle really, go to another place. Because Atlanta has had it for a long time. Think about all of like I said, think about all the genres of different Atlanta music that came out of Atlanta. You had, hold on, let's really go through all of the different eras out of Atlanta, right? Think about it. You had snap music. Snap music is Atlanta. These are all the genres that came out of Atlanta. Snap music. Snap music is a subgenre of hip hop music derived from crunk that originated in southern USA in the 2000s in Bankhead, West Atlanta, United States. It was achieved mainstream popularity through the mid-late 2000s, but declined shortly thereafter. Like I said, this is when they went on a historic run. Then you had crunk music. Crunk music. Crunk music is a high-energy subgenre of Southern hip-hop that exploded in the early 2000s. Known for its aggressive club-focused sound with heavy bass, booming 808s, repetitive synth melodies, and the chanted call and response vocals originated in Atlanta and Memphis. And see, that is a debate. A lot of people say that Memphis created crunk, but a lot of people say that Atlanta created crunk because it was that little tiff there. Because a lot of people say that 3 6 Mafia created crunk, but some people say that crunk came from Atlanta. But but I would still say Atlanta, with pioneers like Little John and the East Side Boys and 3 6 Mafia. It's all about hyping up crowds and getting crunk. But this is another genre right here. Think about how long Atlanta had it. Then you had trap music. Let's put that up there. Trap music. Then you had trap music. Trap music is a subgenre of hip hop from the southern USA, defined by its dark, minimalist sound with heavy 808s, bass, complex hi-hat, snare drum, often featuring lyrical themes of drug culture, poverty, and street life, originating from Atlanta's trap house slang and popularized by artists like T.I., Young Jeezy, and Gucci Mane, evolving to incorporate EDM elements and global influence. Think about all of the different like eras of Atlanta. They went through the crunk era. They went through the snap era. They went through the trap era. They went through all these different facets, and they held the crown from 2004, 5-ish, all the way into the 2020s. I think it's time for another city to get another crack at it. It's time for, another city. Because how many genres came out of New York? Let's be real. And don't get me wrong, a couple of genres came out of New York. Because you could say, okay, boom bap genre. Boom bap genre. I would say boom bap came out of New York. Boom bap is a classic hip-hop subgenre, late 80s, early 90s, golden era hip-hop, named for its boom, kick drum, and the bap snare sound. Featuring raw samples, heavy beats, soulful loops, and focus on lyrical skill over polished production, epitomized by East Coast MCs. I would say boom bap. I would say conscious hip hop came out of New York. Conscious hip hop, because Public Enemy and X-Clan, all of that was coming out of New York first. Conscious hip hop is a subgenre focused on social awareness, political issues, and cultural commentary. What else would you say came out of New York? I can't give New York drill. I would say mafioso rap genre. I would say mafioso rap came out of New York. Mafioso rap is a hardcore hip-hop subgenre pioneered by Coogee Rap, focused on organized crime, mobster narratives, luxury, and power. I would say that came out of New York. So conscious hip-hop, mafioso, boom bap, of course. So, listen, I just feel like it's time for another place. And we could do the West Coast. West Coast, you got G-Funk and things of that nature. But I just think it's time for another place, another a city to have another run. Whether it be New York, FBA says pimp rap. Where do you think pimp rap came from, FBA? Where do you think pimp rap came from? Little S Bussy says boom bap is tough. Okay, I'm happy to see you like boom bap. I can't give any city a pimp rap because I think pimp rap, I mean, who was really talking that pimp stuff on raps first? I mean, so one of the first pimp rappers that I remember was what, Sugar Free? But I wouldn't give West Coast pimp rap. Well, let me see, pimp rap. There was nobody on the West Coast really rapping like a pimp, in my opinion. And of course, gangster rap. Even though Eazy-E is the godfather, Schoolie D was the first gangster rapper. He had PSA, Parkside Killers. Yeah, but I don't want to go into this whole hip hop lesson. I'm just talking about Atlanta running. They went on a historic run for over a decade. But in my opinion, I just feel like it's time for, and I think it would be good for hip hop. I think it's time for another city to run hip hop. They've had it. They've had it for so long. And I think, let me put Atlanta rappers on the screen. Atlanta rappers. I think a part of the reason why Atlanta had it for so long is the fact that they had so much unity. I mean, I want like real Atlanta rappers on here. Hold on, give me like, and put this on the screen. Yeah, this is probably a better representation of Atlanta. The thing about Atlanta is that they were so unified. The thing about New York was we were never unified. And maybe that might be my next thing. We're talking about Ebro, because I did want to talk about Ebro and him destroying New York hip hop. I think we're going to talk about that next. Actually, give me 1 second, Chuck. Give me one. I'm gonna take a 5 second intermission. Just a 5 second. I just gotta grab something on that side, and we're gonna get back to what we're talking about. Give me like five seconds. 5 seconds. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Okay. Now, in terms of what I was talking about, in terms of Atlanta hip hop, I felt that they've always had unity. They've always had unity. Think about all of what Gucci did for Atlanta, and we have Gucci here on the screen. Think about all of what Gucci did to Atlanta hip hop. All the people he put on. I mean, Gucci has done mixtapes with Future. He's done mixtapes with Young Thug, songs with Migos. I mean, he single-handedly put on the second generation of Atlanta rap, or the third generation of Atlanta rappers. Do you think Jay-Z would have done that for New York or Brooklyn? You think Jay-Z would have cleansed himself and done a song with a Mano or a Saigon or a Pat Poose or Brooklyn MCs? But Gucci, as a legend, said, you know what? This is the young generation of Atlanta. I'm going to do a song with a Young Thug. I'm going to do a song with a Young Future. I'm going to do a song with the Migos. I'm going to work with the young rappers from Atlanta. I'm going to put on that next generation. That would never happen in New York. Fire! 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 You think Jay-Z is going to leave his mansion, hop in the Maybach, hop out the Maybach, go into D&D and do records with Brooklyn rappers, up and coming Brooklyn rappers? That would have never happened. But in Atlanta, they had more camaraderie. There was more unity. Salute to FBA. He says Hempstead. Oh, Hempstead ain't create no pimp rap. I know Rock Marciano. He talked that pimp stuff, but I don't think pimp rap didn't come from Hempstead. I mean, I love Rock Marciano. Rock Marciano's from Hempstead, but he didn't create pimp rap. Because Sugar Free was before Rock Marciano. Sugar Free was way before Rock Marciano. And then you got Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was talking that pimp rap stuff. Ice-T. I would say Sugar Free. I would say Sugar Free before all of them, in my opinion. Yeah, but he didn't, Hempstead didn't create pimp rap. Definitely not. Definitely not. But in reference to, I'm talking to one of my minds in the section in terms of, we're talking about pimp rap. But just going back to Atlanta hip hop, I just felt like it's always been more unity in Atlanta hip hop. It's always been more people, building the next generation of superstars. Even with like the stars of today, you see Young Thug put on a Gunna, put on the Little Kid, rest in peace. You seen Atlanta artists putting on other young Atlanta artists. That doesn't happen in New York. Who has Joel Santana put on? Who has Fabulous put on? Who has Jay-Z put on outside of Memphis Bleak? Tell me. New York has no unity. They've never put other MCs out. They've never helped other New York MCs. And it's always something that I've always said in terms of Atlanta. There's always been more unity. It's always been more of the elder statesmen saying, you know what? Let's work with the younger guys. Let's work with these younger guys and build them. And it clearly worked. Because Gucci, if you look at Gucci, he worked with all of these young guys. Now listen, Young Jeezy didn't do it. Another, T.I., I wouldn't say T.I. because T.I. worked with Young Thug. But a lot of the other Atlanta rappers, they like Ludacris, they wasn't really running around with a lot of the younger guys from ATL. But Gucci did. Gucci was the legend. Gucci said, you know what? I'm going to work with a Young Thug. I'm going to work with Amigos. I'm going to work with a Future. All in the early stages of their careers. We've never had that in New York. It's always been selfish rappers that has always been out for themselves, whether you say it's Jay-Z, whether it's Nas, and Nas my favorite rapper, whether it be P. Diddy, they've always been selfish. Always wanted to hog that spotlight for themselves. That's just what it has been. But in terms of, another place taking over hip hop, I think it's overdue. I think we need to see another place take over hip hop. We need to see another place take over hip hop. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it true. But that's what I have to say in terms of that. Let me get into this Ebro. Who killed New York hip hop? Let's get into that. Who killed New York? Because there was a couple of clips that I was watching today, and I thought it was, at first I was gonna do a whole live on this, breaking down how Ebro. Because in my opinion, I don't think 50 Cent is the reason New York hip hop fell off. I think it's entirely Ebro's fault. Ebro, who killed NY hip hop. Let's see if I can find that video.
He's spun.
Yeah, let's play this video. So there's a dialogue going on about ruined New York hip hop. If you don't know, there was an infamous interview with 50 Cent. Maybe I should play that interview. Let me see if I can find it. Ebro and 50 Cent, where they talk about who ruined New York hip hop. Remember, one guy was the programmer for the station. He was the one who ultimately said, I'm going to play your records. I'm not going to play your records. He was the ultimately another guy. He's just a hot rapper in New York. He doesn't have any say who plays whose record. He's just an artist like everybody else. Ebro, hold on. Ebro and 50, hold on, 50 Cent. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second.
It's your fault.
God.
And then you threaten to have me beat up. And
Let's play this right here. Let's play this clip real quick of 50 and Ebro.
He was the program director.
No,
he did not
I
play
support-
their music.
No, I supported
This is who
you.
they should be looking
I supported
for.
you.
That's
That's
who
back
they
It's
should
your fault.
God.
And then you threatened to have me beat up. And I was like, so what, nigga? It's what it is. You fuck up.
Because I'm
New
like,
York
look,
hip-hop.
how you gonna mess it up and then say I did?
I know you played a party, bro. That's what he's saying.
That's what he did.
He's full of shit.
He go, look, the program that all of the artists that made records during that time span, you mean to tell me they didn't play because my records were good?
No, a lot of them.
They
There
didn't
was a
play
lot. There was
because
actually
the
a
program
lot.
director didn't
No, there was
play.
actually a lot of.
He was the program director. He did not play.
I agree with 50 Cent on this. You were the program director. You were the one who said that you were not going to play these guys' records. Remember, 50 Cent is just an artist. He delivers his records. The record, I mean the recording label, they put money behind the records. That's it. Ultimately, you are the music programmer. You're the one who determined we're gonna play this, we're not gonna play this. We're gonna let this ride. We're gonna give this record 100 spins. We're not gonna play the up and coming rapper from Brooklyn. Ebro, you were responsible. You were the reason why these rappers didn't get the chance and looked at they and let's be honest. And we're gonna go deeper into this, but let's be honest, because I feel very passionate about this. Let's be honest. Hot 97 was late to every musical movement that came out of New York. Every musical movement that came out of New York, Hot 97 was late to. You was late to Nicki Minaj. You was late to A$AP Rocky and the A$AP Mob movement. You was late to Cardi B. You was late to Bobby Shmurda. You was late to Pop Smoke. Do you think that's by chance? Or do you think that just because you guys were just out of touch? New York hip hop fell out and fell off because you had a bunch of out-of-towners, people that are not from New York, people that don't have the swag, people that are not in tune, people that don't know, people that had way too much power and they did not deserve that title or power. They were running the record station. People like you, Ebro, people like you, Peter Rosenberg, you guys did not need to be running that station. You guys were not in tune. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Hold on, let me get into the comment section. Let's see what people are saying. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping it true. Let's play this clip though. Where they're still, and keep in mind, right? These two individuals lost their jobs, right? They lost their jobs because they were out of touch. They were years behind on what was happening and what was going on. Keep in mind, Ebro in the Morning, fired. The Breakfast Club, their competitors, doing better than they ever been. Netflix deal, big podcast deal. These guys lost their jobs. That should tell you something. That should tell you that these guys were out of touch. That should tell you that these guys were not in tune. That should tell you that these guys was asleep at the wheel. But they're still divvying out blame. They're still saying, no, it was 50 Cent. No, it was because New York rappers, they were lazy. They want to sound like the South. Listen to these two idiots talk about why New York hip-hop fell off.
I told 50 he ruined New York hip-hop. He spun it back around on me talking about I ruined New York hip-hop, and then all of his fans and fanatics ran with that. But first it was 50 Cent who ruined New York hip-hop. Y'all know. Nobody wanted to work together. People who was already popping in the city was like, you know, everybody was hemming and hawing. And
one man has never ran hip-hop in New York. Never. Look at it. Go back and look. Go back and look. From the 90s, you always had Biggie. You always had Nas. After that, you had Jay. You had DMX. You still had Nas. After that, you had 50 Cent. You still had Jay. You had young up-and-comers like Jewels and Fab. No one man has ever just ran the city completely. Maybe 50 and maybe Big at one point and Jay at one point. But no one has just said indefinitely, I have ran the city. It was you, Ebro. You decided to put an emphasis on records that were not from New York. You decided not to play New York hip-hop. You decided not to give them a chance. You decided to say, you know what? We're not going to give Pat Poose, Max B, Saigon a chance. We're going to play this Little Webby song. We're going to give it 500 spins. We're gonna give Yin Yang Twins Wait Till You See My D. We're going to give that 500 spins. Sorry, Pat Poose. We ain't got time for you. Sorry, Max B. We ain't got time to give you a record to spin. We're gonna play Ludacris. We're gonna play T.I. Out of towners that are not from New York were the reason why New York hip hop fell off and why Hot 97 is in this place that it's in. You guys put an emphasis on records that were not from New York anymore. And you could blame some of the record labels. You could blame Jay-Z for not empowering a New York rapper. You can blame a lot of people. But I would say it's more so the radios. Because at that point in time, radio was king. Radio was king. At that point in time, this is a little bit before the streaming era. Let's get back into this. Hold on. Let's get back into this.
Soft shoeing because nobody wanted to work together because 50 Cent was so popping. So that's where that narrative comes from. Now, Rosenberg, if we were to really go through the documentation of the amount of opportunity given to New York rappers in my term or in my tenure at Hot 97, how do you think I would fare when you really grade it?
It's not even true that 50 quote unquote ruined New York hip hop, but he did it more than you did. Neither of you did, by the way.
I don't want to hear either one of these dweebs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna finish it.
Way. The problem was riding, and people want. Oh, I did it again.
This is an out of towner telling New Yorkers what didn't work in New York. Tell us what didn't work in Maryland, Peter Rosenberg. You're not a New Yorker. The reality is New York has always been innovative. New York has always been creative. New York has always set the standard. The problem was you had a bunch of out-of-towners, running it like they own the station. And I can prove it to you that they was acting like they ran the station. It wasn't that New York wasn't creative. It wasn't that New York wasn't doing things. You guys just wasn't giving it a chance. You didn't give A$AP Rocky a chance.
You don't find that suspicious?
You didn't give Bobby Shmurda a chance.
You don't find that suspicious?
You didn't give Cardi B or Nicki Minaj a chance.
You don't find that suspicious?
You guys were just, brushing them off to the side, and then when they got so big, or when the internet had made them so big, you guys had no you guys had no choice but to take them seriously. It's you guys' faults.
It's people copycatting other people, and when New York lost its creativity and wanted to start sounding like
New York copycat? Who did New York copycat? Give me a New York artist that was copycatting. Give me a New York artist that was copycatting. The problem was you probably had programmers like Ebro that was playing 100 rappers from Atlanta, 100 rappers from Houston, 100 rappers from down south. And a lot of New Yorkers felt like, you know what? I'm only going to get my record played if I sound like them. Maybe that's what it was.
That to me is when things fell off a cliff. It really wasn't about any program director or one.
Oh, it was definitely because of the program directors. You guys were just doing a terrible job. You guys didn't belong, and you guys felt like you guys felt like your jobs were important. FBA says West Coast, they was hyping, they was trying to be Damas and Locks. I don't know what that is. But I feel like Ebro and Peter Rosenberg was just out of touch. And not only was they out of touch, they were just bad program directors. Did y'all see this? Did y'all ever see this interview with Ebro and Buckshot? He was acting like he ran the damn station. You gotta watch this thing. Hold on, let me play this interview with him and Buckshot.
But that's and I got you and I keep you.
Hold on. He was acting like he ran. He was acting like he owned the station.
It's the Hot 97 Morning
Take a
Show.
look at this.
Cypher Sounds.
Yo.
Remember, this is Ebro at the height of his powers. He's the program director. He got the morning show. This is at the height of his powers. Look at how he talks to Buckshot. Buckshot, a hip hop pioneer, a hip hop legend. Look how he talks to Buckshot.
Old man Ebro in Brooklyn's own Buckshot.
Uh-oh.
Let's get into it, Buck. Me and you,
Ralph
man.
I'm Buck Cramden. They call me Buck Cramden because I got a big mouth.
So now I was on the Combat Jack show
program.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the kid P that's on that show?
Premium P.
Yeah, Premium P had brought up that the 20th anniversary of the I think it was the album Into the Stage.
Yeah.
Was a sausage fest.
Yeah.
And we was talking about how I said a lot of New York MCs, the problem with the music is they ain't getting no pussy.
Yeah.
And
remember, this is the program director. This is the person, this is the program director. This is the person, he ain't from New York. He ain't in tune to no New York hip hop. He don't know what's up and coming. He don't want to give it a try. He don't want to give it a chance. But he's telling you that New York rappers, they ain't getting no pussy. That's why the records ain't selling. This was the program director. They allowed this man to be program director for. See, that's why people are celebrating that he's gone. That's why people are happy that he's out of there. Because he was a clown. He was an out-of-towner. He was out of touch. He never had an ear to what was popping or up and coming out of New York. He didn't care because he ain't from here.
Fire! 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 Fire!
He didn't care about New York hip hop. He didn't care about furthering New York hip hop. He didn't care about rappers that was local. All he cared about was his job. And if his job said, you know what, we're gonna play nothing but Southern artists, he tried to act like his platform meant something. Oh, it's because of Trump, because I got fired. It's because of Netanyahu. No, nigga, it was because you were a terrible programmer. And your morning show was garbage. Nobody listened and nobody cared about it. That's why you got fired. You were expendable. That's why you got fired. Nobody wanted you there. That's why you got fired. It wasn't because Netanyahu or Trump. You were a terrible programmer that never cared about the local rappers, never cared about the local talent. That's evident. Because you guys, Hot 97 has been late to every single movement. Name a movement. Name a movement that Hot 97 was on top of when it came out. When Nicki Minaj was on the mixtape circuit before she signed the YMCMB. When she was on the Come Up DVDs and all that other, when she was doing that, did Hot 97 give her a placement? Did Hot 97 bring her up there? Did Hot 97 play her records? Did Hot 97 give her a freestyle? No, they did not. Think about the movements that came out of New York when Max B was killing the mixtapes. The wave movement, killing the mixtapes. Did they bring him up there outside of Flex? Did they bring him up there and allow him to do his thing? No. So on and so forth. We can say Pat Poose, Saigon, other New York hip hop artists. Did they allow them to come up there? No. They treated a lot of New York artists, a lot of local talent, like garbage. And when you look at this interview, you see that he felt like he had all the power. He felt like he could talk down to a lot of these New York artists, disrespect them, violate them, told them that they were meaningless. And it's so beautiful to see him get tossed on his keister. Beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful to me. I love to see it.
If they was getting more pussy, they would make music for chicks.
A bunch of you actually said they sit around and smoke weed.
They sit around smoke weed
all day
with their shirts off and play video games in a small bedroom. Okay?
that sounds
in a small bedroom. Okay, most Brooklyn apartments nowadays.
So now I wasn't even talking about Buckshot.
FBA says, "Why are you kicking Ebro back in?" Ebro is a clown. He's a clown. FBA, Ebro is 1,000% a clown. He takes no accountability for what he did to New York hip hop. He sat on his throne as programmer, as someone who had a radio show for years, 13 years there. And he takes no accountability for his part on why New York hip hop is not in the place that it needs to be. He is partly to blame. He disrespected New York artists after New York artists, did not play their records. How about this interview? Let's play this interview. How about with Astro? Ebro Astro. Let me see if I can find that Astro interview. Wait, he was talking crazy to that kid. I think his name is Astro or Stro. I forgot the name. Yeah, it's this kid. Let me see. This is another New York artist that he disrespected. He acted like these New York artists were beneath him.
Ebro in the morning. I think, your challenge as you cross from being a teenager. You don't like that?
It ain't bad. It's just we could do better. And we got Meek Mill wasn't hot on the internet when he went to Philly and found out about him. He was hot. No, he was hot on Philly radio. They was playing him. He's like,
I'm a Boss had just made it to Philly radio.
I'm talking about before then. I'm a Boss was recorded after Ross signed him. You see what I'm saying? Same thing.
I'm a Boss and House Party was recorded
before.
Yes.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Ross
did a remix to I'm a Boss later after he signed him.
Oh, what?
After he signed him. He was hot off of the street and the internet because he was a battle rapper. And we was watching Meek at 6.
Meek Mill.
Hold on.
They had a street buzz before years. And now he's
What's important too, in order to spread the brand, I need the support of radio, man.
You think?
For real, like
nah, man. We can't support you yet. You ain't hot enough.
Who was Ebro to say that? And I'm not saying you gotta play this young man's record every moment, every second. But he's reaching out saying, yo, man, give my record some spins. Who made Ebro like a man who ain't even from New York? He ain't even tapped in to know what's popping, to know, like, think about it. See, that's the thing. I want people to think about it. Think about it. Hot 97 was late to every movement. They was late to A Boogie. They was late to Pop Smoke. They was late to K Flock. They was late to ASAP Rocky. They was late to Pop. They don't even know what's popping in New York. Fire! 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 They was late to every damn movement. FBA said Flex destroyed New York City hip hop. I disagree. I disagree on that. I think Flex has done a lot for New York City hip hop. I say Ebro. Peter Rosenberg. I think that they, and that's why I'm happy that those two are off New York radio. I think it's a beautiful day. I can't wait until we get the new morning show. I love to see it. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel in terms of that situation. Yeah, man, that's just how I feel. It is what it is, you know. But listen, man. I've always had an issue with Ebro. I just think he's a clown. I think he's just bad for New York hip hop. Glad to see him out. He's not there no more. Good to see it. I'm happy. He's no longer there. And that's about it tonight. How long we been on here? I said I was gonna do 2 hours today. How long I been on here? I said I was gonna do 2 hours today. How long we been on here? How long we been on here, y'all? How long we been on here? How long we been on here, y'all? Let me find out. I said I was gonna do 2 hours today. I wanna stick to that. I wanna stick to the 2 hours. If I said I'm gonna do 2 hours, I'm gonna do 2 hours today. If we've been on here for 2 hours, I'm gonna close it out. I did say I'm gonna do. I said 2 hours. I'm gonna do 2 hours. Just let me find out. Because I haven't done a 2 hour show in a while. So it's about time that I do it. Okay, yeah, we had 2 hours. We're at the 2 hour mark. I didn't think we were, but we are at the 2 hour mark. Listen, in terms of everything, there was one more topic that I wanted to get into, and it's an interview with Vlad interviewed one of the guys that smashed Diddy's not Diddy's 50's baby mom and him allegedly. But I think I'll save that for another night. I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I'm gonna call it a night. Been on for 2 hours. Listen, y'all have a good night. Salute to FBA. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. And y'all have a good night. I'm gonna come with a live tomorrow. We'll figure something out. We'll figure a live out to do tomorrow. But y'all guys have a good night. I'm tired. I've been at work all night. Yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all, bro. Tomorrow we'll definitely do another live tomorrow. And see you guys tomorrow, man. Y'all guys have a